Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. So, an RNC chairwoman quit before Moore was even elected. Her name is Joyce Simmons. She's GOP National Committeewoman from Nebraska, and she emailed the 168-member governing body to inform them that she had tendered her resignation. And she wrote this: I strongly disagree with the recent RNC financial support directed to the Alabama Republican Party for use in the Roy Moore race. And I keep coming back to this, folks. Look, don't know what's going on with Moore. I can only surmise. I look at my life and say, if I were 60 years old, I don't know how old Roy Moore is, but let's say I'm 60 years old, and you say, hey, 40 years ago or 30 years ago, Kevin, you hit on somebody or you tried to do that, and she was 18, and when you were 30, I'd go, well, did she look 18? Who is it? I couldn't tell you. Maybe people have better memories. Maybe people keep many more pictures. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. There are many things in my life where it could be misconstrued. I tell this story often. I was a lady named Elaine, and I worked at a company called Flexible Computer. And I overheard her talking to one of the admins, a lady named Cindy. And she says, I'm getting my hair done, but I'm afraid, it's going to look bad, blah, blah, blah. And I just overheard the conversation. So I remember making a mental note that said, no matter what Elaine's head looks like, I'm just going to compliment her. And she didn't see me. So it was just an overheard conversation. Now, she's not not attractive at all. She was a very ordinary looking woman. I mean, I'm not saying she's unattractive. Don't be looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm just saying she wasn't like she's I was going to say a Chippendale. No, I'm not gay. It wasn't like she's a Victoria's Secret model. She's just a, ordinary woman working in a company as a secretary. But I overheard the conversation. So the next day, no matter what, I'm going to come in and just make sure. We're a little company. We're like 57 employees. So I said, I want to make sure she knows that, somebody noticed her hair and compliments her. I don't care what it looks like. It could look like a raccoon is humping her head. I'm going to say something nice about it. So I come in the next day, doing around in the break room, doing whatever. And in walks Eileen, and I go, wow. I go, hey, Eileen, I really like your hair. And you got to understand, I'm a 20-something-year-old engineer, and this lady's, I don't know, in her 40s. There was no sexual innuendo. There was no nothing. So our VP of HR is pouring coffee. I was reading, some tech manual, just got parts in from a supplier. And Eileen comes in the break room, and I say that. So, I don't know, a couple hours go by, and I get an email from the HR guy. Says, hey, Kevin, when you get a minute, come into my office. And I go into his office. Again, 57-person company. Everybody knows everybody. Italian guy. So I sit down. I'm like, hey, what's up, Rick? He says, hey, Kev. He says, so he goes, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I know you didn't mean anything by this. He goes, but the thing you said to Eileen could be misconstrued. And I'm thinking, what? And he's like, you compliment a woman. And I'm looking at him like, he goes, look, I know, seems crazy. But he says, I'm telling you, that can be misconstrued, not by me. He goes, and there was Elaine absolutely beamed when you said it, and mission accomplished, is what I was thinking. And he goes, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this was years ago, but he was explaining, this could get you in trouble. Somebody could say, he was leering at me, making all, yeah. And so I'm looking at this Joyce Simmons lady who tenders her resignation over allegations. When we're at a tinderbox that you can light the fuse on something that easily, and people are tendering resignation and immediately rushing to judgment. And I'm thinking to myself, this is one of those moments for me. Like when I told you guys I grew up thinking everybody's ready to fight. And you look behind you and there is no army. Well, you know what? I don't care if people abandon, say, Kevin, I'm not sure I can go with you on this one. Don't go with me. But let me tell you something. There's not a guy I know, pastor, police department chief, nobody that I know who, if you go back a period of 30 years, you can't find a situation that he found completely, mundane, unworthy of anything, and somebody goes, he harassed me. There's not a person I know. I don't care how pious your man appears to be or whatever. If you want to judge it based on what the left are now saying, let's judge things on, none of us are safe. This is ridiculous. And conservative women, you've got to lead the charge, because you're watching your leftist sister over there just wreaking havoc on the male species. and unless you guys get in a fight, it's going to be guys like me. Because let me tell you, this is like people say all the time, Kevin, I wish I could say things like you, but I'm not black. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not a woman. And I'm telling you, I'm going to say the things that people go, well, women can say that, but I couldn't say that. I'm a dude, all dude, and I'm going to say it. Anyway, I look at these turncoats. These are the people that the reason why you can't know you're going to go to battle and be okay as a conservative. These are the very people, the people like this Joyce Simmons lady. Well, he's obviously guilty because a lady accused him. Oh, it's 18, it's 20, it's 1,000. Look, I don't care if it's 1,000,000. If the left says he's doing it, they're liars. We've proven them to be liars. And so you want to side with the devil? This is not about Roy Moore's religion and he's, sanctimonious. I don't care. And another thing, this is one of these things where I want to talk to the candidates. Anybody talking about being a candidate? We just got a guy as president where people go, he's not perfect. He doesn't say the right things. He's not politically correct. So we went on this front. Then what do the Democrats do? They pick on Roy Moore. And what do? We become very sanctimonious. Oh, he could have done that. Roy Moore should have come out and said this. Look, I don't know if I did or I didn't. But I'll tell you this. I'm not that person from that many years ago. Are you? So what do you care? You should be caring about my politics. People have to take a stance and say, are you kidding? All this tepid response to these leftist, cries of, oh, whoa, or crazy. Look at everything they do and compare yourself to it and then say, why are you going to be looking at me? Let's look at your dirty laundry. It just bugs me. And I'm watching the conservative movement get consumed in this stuff. And it's almost like, do we ever learn? Or when is the conservative movement going to say, well, they did it with Trump. But other than that, are you going to let that flow downstream as well and hit other candidates where you doggedly support Roy Moore? You doggedly support the next person? Because trust me, there will be more. They're going to attack you. That's what they do. That's what the left does. Maybe that's what I'll make as our lesson for the day, because I haven't come up with that just yet.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.